Hey everyone, welcome back to Positively Questionable. If you've been wondering where we've been for the last 2 months, we took a little bit of a hiatus, but we're back and we're still kicking.
And I'm still positive, and Luke's still questionable.
So everyone, today on the show, we have a first. We have our first guest, and we're here with our friend. She's so pumped to be here. So we're here with our friend Teginder. So I met Teginder a little over a year ago, and then Bree's known Teginder for about the last month. So do you want to just introduce yourself? So say how did you get to where you are right now?
Well, I was born on October 8th, 1995.
Okay, good.
I graduated from the University of Waterloo in the Environment and Business program. Met Luke as a Dawn last year. And I graduated and then traveled a little bit. And then I got a job as a part of the housing. And so now I'm here.
And what do you do in the housing?
The housing department, I'm the community coordinator for E.B. and Beck.
She's my boss.
So if for those of you who are familiar with Bree and myself, we're Dawns. Teginder is kind of like the Dawn of Dawns. So she kind of oversees us, and so it's kind of weird because Teginder was my friend before she was my boss.
But you're also North Campus, so
yeah, I'm on the other side. Anyways, they know nothing about
that's a life update. We need to give the life update.
Before we get into anything. We told you a bunch about our life in the span of about 6 weeks, and then we just left for about 9 weeks. So we're going to give a little bit of an update about...
We've been busy.
That's why we haven't been doing this again.
Mm-hmm.
Finally, we're back to business, back at it.
Mm-hmm. So, Luke, tell me, what have you been doing in the past 6 weeks or so? 9 weeks or so.
At least. Okay, so since our last podcast, I finished out the rest of school term, which was very good. I passed. I haven't dropped out of school yet. Baseball season, for those of you who knew that I played baseball, ended up being a really nice, successful season. We went on a nice little run and won the national championship this year.
Casual.
No big deal.
No big deal. But no, it was a really, really awesome summer. Got to see lots of different parts of Ontario and Canada. And then came back, went on a little bit of a vacation with my family up in the Ottawa Valley, which is a nice little week away. And then moved back into my new place where I'm donning at Village One here on campus at UW. Started training. And now I'm settling into my brand new co-op job with the Faculty of Engineering, doing a little bit of outreach and recruitment with the faculty. So it's been a lot of fun. We're about 3 weeks into the term, and really no complaints. Really, really happy to still be alive and well.
Living your best life.
Don't say that ever again.
But you are.
This might be the last time you're on our podcast together.
I'm so sorry.
No.
We can move on to
Teginder, part 1.
Teginder, part 1 of 1. Bree, you're up next. What have you been up to?
Oh man, what have I been doing?
Did you pass school?
I did pass school. So that was good. And then when we finished donning in the spring, I flew out to BC to visit my brother. Stayed out there for a couple weeks, and that was really good. Got to see some really beautiful places. And then I came home and went straight to dawn training with these 2 lovely humans. And that was when I met Teginder for the first time. And then after dawn training, I worked for the university for orientation, so that kept me pretty busy for about a week. And then I went into my co-op job too, and I'm working on campus again for professional development courses. And yeah, here
What
we
do
are.
you do with professional development courses?
Well, Luke, while you're on a co-op term, you take these PD courses to develop your soft skills outside of the classroom. So that's pretty cool. And I enjoy it, so it's been good.
So what do you do with that?
You what?
She hasn't told you that she's a teaching assistant.
I'm a teaching assistant.
I was like, you develop professionally?
What are you doing for your job? Well, you take these courses on co-op.
Okay, be nice to me. This is our first podcast back.
Yeah, you think
I'm
you'd
a
be sharpen on
teaching
your game.
assistant. There we go. Hey! And I also am not donning in the same building as Luke. I am still in UWP at Beck Hall.
Yeah.
Woo! It's been a good time.
Crickets.
We don't talk about it very much. It's very sad.
Anyways, so basically what this podcast is going to look like is Teginder has a bunch of questions that she's going to be asking us. Do you want to just talk a little bit about, like just to preface the questions?
Yeah. So there's this thing. It's an online article from The New Yorker, and it's like 36 questions that can make anyone fall in love. Although the goal here isn't to fall in love with one another because we're already best friends, they're really good questions to start having meaningful conversations with people. So I wrote them down and I'm going to ask them.
Yeah, so I think we're just going to dive right into it. Again, if any of you have answers to these questions, feel free to send us an email at positivelyquestionable18@gmail.com.
Also, before we get started, I'd just like to note that our number one fan was actually an imposter and is our friend Tyler, who was
So there's something...
Tell Teginder this story.
There's something funny. Okay, so for those of us just joining us on the series, we had a number one fan who said he was from Norway, I believe. And
sending us the most ridiculous things.
Just go back and listen to our previous episodes. And he cared more than we cared about our podcast. And he sent us all these emails telling about how he wanted to be a remote guest on the show, Skype into one of the shows, but he couldn't do many times because he had to go to a celebration of life for his brothers, sisters-in-laws, daughters, teachers, best friends, goldfish who passed away. Anyways, it was this anyway, and the entire time that he had been sending these emails to us, I knew that it was one of my best friends, Tyler.
Yeah, but I didn't know him at the time.
And I didn't tell Bree, and Bree didn't even know who Tyler was.
I didn't know!
But then Bree met Tyler, and then she guessed that it was Tyler, and I straight up was like, no, he wouldn't waste that much time on something as stupid as our podcast.
And I believed it.
Just as a way to brush it off. And Bree was like, yeah, Tyler wouldn't ever do that. You're right. I just want to know who it is. So anyways, finally, it came to light that it was Tyler.
And Tyler won't let it go. He's rubbing it in my face.
Well, it was pretty sweet how he, it went on for 6 weeks.
It was pretty funny, but, anyway.
Anyways, so if any of you have answers to any of the questions that our friend Teginder is going to ask us, send us an email. We'll give you a shout out on the show, and we're interested to see what other people have to answer about these questions. So without further ado,
let's get right into the heat of this. So what is your greatest accomplishment?
Also, Teginder and I kind of did these questions during our one-on-one for work, so I've heard a few of them before, but not this one. Honestly, probably, I know what you're going to say. But
oh yeah, we both know Luke's.
No big deal. My greatest accomplishment probably would be what I'm doing right now, balancing all these things in my life, and I'm in a really good spot and really happy. So I think that's my greatest accomplishment.
My heart's actually melting.
Aww.
You're so adorable.
I think my greatest accomplishment is a collection of things. First, I am on a serious note. Well, all of this is serious, but I am really proud to currently be studying as a student in university, and I feel like I've had like this vision of like what I want my life to look like, and I'm currently on that track, which I'm like really happy with. And then it goes with, it's not really a doubt in my mind that I'm super proud of what our team accomplished this year, winning nationals. There's really no greater feeling than having just a group of friends and a group of brothers that you can go out onto a diamond with and say that you're the best in Canada, and no big deal. So
Please never say that ever again.
He's going to say that the entire podcast.
so
New slogan for the show.
no, it was good. Yeah. The
Do I answer
experience
this
of a
too?
lifetime.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can answer it.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I think those of you who know me will know that I milk this as my fun fact all the time. My face was on the side of a bus. I'm from the
For
city.
what?
Oh, so thank you for being invested.
You already told me this.
I know, but you can still act like you
For
care.
what? To give it? Tell us. Tell us.
I was a Burlington Transit Youth Ambassador for the city of Burlington, and I submitted a piece of poetry where I got selected, and then I had a photo shoot, and then my face, along with the little snippet of my poem, was on the side of a bus, and for a whole summer, it was just there.
That's really cool.
Yeah.
You were in Waterloo.
I was like
You're a
celebrity.
In
model.
Waterloo,
Yeah.
over 20,000 people per day will look at the advertisement on the side of a bus. Fun fact.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, it was really cool.
Famous.
I was in bus station booths on the side of the bus, inside
really
the bus,
cool.
everywhere.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm really cool, just saying.
It's the bus lady to Ginder.
Okay, let's never do that ever again. Ever.
Next.
So next question. What is your most treasured memory?
Oh.
That is a tough one.
Yeah, if you can't tell, we didn't practice our answers
No, this
we
is
were
before.
not
this is
prepared.
100% on the spot. Most
Yeah.
treasured memory.
Oh, I know.
Yeah.
Go for it.
Because we talked about this, I think.
No. I don't
No,
think
we
we
didn't?
No.
Oh.
All the ones that you talked
I
about have
thought
a B
we
at the
did.
back.
Okay, we don't
Um,
care about your one-on-ones.
Okay.
It's
Well, Tiginder just likes me more than you,
It was-
so.
It was a really good conversation.
Next.
Um, so my family lives all over Canada. Some are in BC, some are in Saskatchewan, Ontario as well. So probably my favorite memories in general would be holidays, particularly Christmas, when everyone like comes home and we just like spend some good quality time together. Because I don't know, you never really know what it's like having people move away until you can't like see them except for on FaceTime. So like I really appreciate it when I get to see them, and I'm excited because this Christmas is going to be exactly that. So
No, that's awesome. Mine's kind of similar to that, actually. I think my most treasured memory was when I think I was in grade 9. It was like my grandparents, one of their dreams to take our like extended family like on a vacation. So I think it was the first time that all of us. No, it wasn't the first time, but it was their dream to take us on a cruise. And so our entire extended family, so all my aunts, uncles, cousins, and my grandparents, blocked off Christmas break, and we went on a cruise over Christmas. And it was just really like, it was really nice knowing that we were just like there with our family, and we were there spending time together for a week with our family with like no other distractions and no other obligations. And then just like whenever we have like holidays or get-togethers over at grandma's, it's just like there's nothing like a nice meal at grandma's. It's just the best.
good cook.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Your grandma's going to be really excited
Yeah,
to hear that.
I need to make sure that
Yeah.
grandma listens to this song.
Yeah, I think for me, okay, so this is really like cheesy, but when I was in grade 8, I won a speech competition for West Halton, to be exact, not even like my entire school district, just the west side. And I did a speech on Jenny Kidd Gownlock Trout, the first female licensed physician. It was just like a really big deal because like you just like, because you compete in your class and then you competed in your school and then you competed in like the west side of Halton, and I just like kept doing better and just kept getting first place.
Crushing the competition.
Yeah.
That's what I like to hear.
So I think, like, in particular, the reason I just sort of, like, remember that, because it was, like, the first time I was just like, oh, maybe, like, public speaking is a thing. Maybe I can do it. Yeah, because I love talking. So that was, like, when they allowed me to talk and gave me awards for it. So I was all about it.
Nice.
Yeah. Okay.
Well, next question.
Question 3. Is there something that you've dreamed of doing for a long time? Why haven't you done it? I can answer this one.
Okay,
Okay.
yeah,
I
answer this
can.
We don't want half of our podcast to
Be
be
like silent.
For me, there isn't any, like, I just did what I thought I, like, always dreamed of doing, which is traveling. My parents haven't always been gung-ho about me, like, to travel. So this is like, I graduated and I was like, what am I going to do next? I don't know. But I know that I loved like women empowerment as a cause because my family's from India, and then I love environmental initiatives. So I ended up going to India to help empower women and teach them English. And then for 4 weeks, and then I went to Peru. Initially the plan was to go to the jungle and help reforest it, but then I ended up working with kids for 5 weeks, which was super dope. And I never thought I would get the chance to actually go travel and do fun things, but I did by myself, and like financially and independently. And it was a volunteer trip, and I did it, and I'm very proud.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
That's actually really awesome.
That's really inspiring. And I mean, that kind of segues to mine. Like, I've always wanted to be independent and be able to travel alone and sort of be like confident in that situation, and I'm going to do that. So I guess like I still haven't, and I'm still mentally preparing for that, but I'm really excited to have an experience like that and just see where life takes me for 4 months and not just be caught up in sort of the bubble here, and get out there and get to see other cultures and how other people live, and I'm really, really excited about that. So
You're going to do great. I don't know, like, everything about you, but, like, you seem like a really open person, so I think you're going to love it. You're going to thrive. I know it.
They're just not nice.
Nice.
Don't worry, we'll compliment you, too.
No, you don't need to. This one actually I just got thinking about recently, and like it's been an ongoing thing, but it just kind of like got sparked again in my mind. Something I've always wanted to do is play music in front of like a big crowd.
Ooh.
Which is something I've never done. Like the most that I've probably played music in front of is maybe like a couple hundred in our like high school like talent show thing, or like high school assemblies, or like the odd gig that I've done with like one of my friends or my brother or brothers. But it would just be like a dream come true if I was just like sitting on stage, like a really chill atmosphere. If there's like a big crowd,
Yeah.
and it's just like a John Mayer type show.
That
I've
intro, though.
I've been listening to John Mayer's one live concert at the Nokia Theater. It's on Spotify, so I've been listening to it a lot lately, and that's just like that'd be so cool. Just like me and a guitar and a bunch of people, just kind of like a mellow, chill.
So wait, set the stage for me. Is it like just you?
So here
there a
would be
band?
my perfect
Yeah.
my dream. So it's it'd be like I play like a set, so it's just me and an acoustic guitar,
Yeah.
and then I would after like I finish my set, it's just like a chill, like I'm sitting on a chair on stage.
Ed Sheeran vibes, fully.
Sure, whatever.
Oh, I love him.
Sorry, he just
Sorry.
Don't digress.
he plays a show by himself in all of ACC, so I think that's cool. Anyway, continue.
And then take like a little set break.
Yeah.
And then this would be the dream for my brothers and I, is we have this song that we wrote. It's actually about one of the places on UW campus. It's kind of cool. But it would be a dark stage, and then all you hear is the intro to our song, and we're playing on a dark stage, and then one by one the spotlight comes on each of the three of us, and then we play a collective show.
You haven't thought about this at all.
Not at all.
No,
not
this is
even
kind of
a
like
little.
this is like an
Just thought about
impulse,
that
spur of the
right
moment
now.
kind of thing. I don't know. I never
Love it.
really brainstormed around the fire with Chris and Andrew drinking a couple beers, and that's never been a thing.
Yep.
No,
No, that's really
I
cool.
think that'd be cool.
that'd be the sweetest.
I wish I could like give you a stage, but I don't have that kind of power.
Where there's a will, there's a way.
Do it. Love it.
We'll see.
What would you name the band?
See, like we could just be like the Zettel brothers, like that's kind of like
Yeah.
mainstream though.
To
Who knows?
yeah. Okay.
The Zettel
cool.
brothers does an okay.
You take like the first letter of each person's name. You know,
Black.
make it.
Ow.
Ideas.
Anyway.
We'll work on it.
Yeah.
We'll circle back. to
Anyway,
this.
okay. Question number 4: If a crystal ball would tell you the truth about yourself, your life, the future, or anything else, what would you want to know?
I think I would want to know how long I'm gonna live.
Ooh.
Really?
I mean, maybe not.
No.
No, never mind. I don't like that. I take that back. In my mind, it sounded good.
Yeah.
I know.
What?
I think I'd probably like want to know if I wouldn't want to know anything specific, but like happy and healthy that all the people that are like close to me like are doing well, basically. All the people that I love, like stuff like that. Nothing too specific because I'd be too focused on it if I knew, and just knowing me, like,
Totally. I get you. I'm the same way.
yeah.
I think I'd want to know if I get that show that I've always dreamed about.
Am
Love
I
it.
the next
No, I
Ed
don't
Sheeran?
know.
With
I
Lack?
can't. Yeah, Alk, Cal, whatever, with the brothers.
That spotlight.
Yeah.
I think I would probably want to know like some of the greatest like loves of my life, and I don't mean that just in a romantic sense. I mean like what are those like meaty friendships that you have? Because like I do believe that people come and go in your life from like whenever it's like appropriate. Like your childhood friends are your childhood friends, and they don't surpass the test of time. So I'd love to know like who are some of these people who like surpass the test of time in that moment, or who are like those people who like
Stick
You
it
know-
out and stay with you.
or just like mean a lot to me in the span of my life. Like I don't need to know when, at what point, like their exact names, but is it like 3, what kind of relationship it is, you know? Like imagine like the ball, like the crystal ball told me Luke Zettel, and then I would just be like, wow, I've already met Luke Zettel. What does this mean? Like I like that would be too specific for me, and I'm totally
That's
with you.
so cool.
That's not a
so-
bad future.
Well, yeah.
Hang out with me your whole life.
Well, but
please.
so like, but what I mean is like, what if we're like really good homies for like the next 3 years, you know? And that's all it is, and I'm totally fine with that. But I think it's more just like knowing like to what extent like I have like meaningful relationships and what those look like. I think that'd be really
Wow.
interesting. Yeah. I think about things a lot. I live in my head.
That's really cool. though.
Yeah, I try. Okay, so this is like a situation-based question. So question number 5. Your house containing everything you own catches fire. After saving your loved ones and pets, you have time to safely make a final dash and save one item. What would it be and why?
I never know what to say for this question. Oh.
I can answer.
Okay.
Yeah. So I think I would say like save my like bedding. I know that sounds really dumb, but like I don't know what it is, like, but like having a blanket and having like bed sheets, like I feel very protected by it, you know? Like if a burglar broke into my house, I by all means 100% would hide under my blanket. You can totally tell that there's a human hiding underneath it, but like I just feel like protected, even if it's a false sense of like security and protection. So like, you know, if your house is already burnt down, you don't have anything, like that's 1, rational, and 2, I would get like a sense of protection. So I would say that. But that's me. I've always been that way.
Oh, that's interesting. I think there are 2 things that I want to say. One of them is I would want to save my gold medal. But realistically,
fair.
it is a memory that I will hopefully remember the rest of my life. And I'd want to like keep a token of that. But the other thing that comes to mind is when I was in grade school, probably like grade 7 or 6 or 7, we always took pictures in the summer or whenever we could for our family Christmas card. And that summer we had corn growing in the fields by my house. And so we took like these really nice family photos with like the corn and the sunset in the background. And it's still like, I think all of us kids, so all of my 4 siblings and myself, have a framed picture of that. And my little baby sister is like 2 years old and stuff. But I think I'd want to snag that because it's just
That's
like
cute. Yeah, I like that.
It's my family, so.
Kind of along with that, it's really hard for me to think of this because, I don't know, a lot of material things I own can be replaced easily. I don't have much attachment to it, like a laptop or my cell phone or whatever. But the one thing of value that I probably would really want to grab is when my brother and I were really, really little, our parents bought us these like stuffed animals. And I've had this like stuffed unicorn since I was like 2, 1 or 2. And I still have it. Like I have it here. And my brother had like a stuffed dog and it just like it was our childhood. So I'd probably want to bring that with me. And it just like, I don't know, brings up a lot of like feelings and just of like family and stuff like that. And like, I know I'll be like 50 and still having this unicorn. So I'd probably want that.
It's perfect. You're in UWP. Our mascot is a unicorn.
I know.
How things come full circle. I love it.
Nuts.
I was meant to be here.
So I think we probably have time for about one more question,
Cool.
and then we'll wrap things up.
I think this is a nice, fluffy question to end things off. What would constitute as a perfect day for you?
Oh, I know.
I know too. You
Okay.
go first.
Some like beautiful, just city place wherever, like outdoors, like fresh air, sun is shining, and we hike up, like spend all day hiking with just like loved ones, close friends. You get to the top and you just sit there and you're looking at like a beautiful view, like just breathing in the fresh air, and you just like crack open like a drink or something and you sit there for like hours. And we did that when we were in BC, and it was just like so perfect. You just like forget about all your problems and everything, and you just focus on like the moment. And that's something I've really been like about lately, is just trying to like actively be in the moment and enjoy like my company and just be like happy with where I am. So that would be the perfect day for me.
I think for me it's similar. I'd want to go home to my parents' place, like where I grew up pretty much my whole life. And I have like really good memories of just like sitting in the backyard on our back deck and then like playing some like bocce ball or throwing a frisbee or throwing a ball around, or like just like hanging out. There's this game that my dad, there's a lot of variations of it. It's like a washer toss. There's like, giant washers. We call it holy board because you put holes in the board and you try to throw it in the holes. But just like sitting outside, and then Dad's always really good at like barbecuing dinner, or if like we raise chickens at my place, or Mom will cook a big chicken meal. It's just like just time spent with family and whatnot.
That's so cute. I love that. I think for me, it would be like, I love variety in a day. So I think the more things that we can do, the better. Like for me, it doesn't, like, you don't have to necessarily be doing something with someone to make like that time worth it. I think even if you're just like sitting there and I can literally be reading and they're reading and we're not really doing anything specifically with each other, that's like good. But I think in particular, like going on like a long hike or like a long adventure with a person.
Mhm.
Reading is great because it's like takes your mind off things. And being able to cook a little bit with someone. And like kind of doing something like this where you're asking like more meaningful questions and having something like nice and meaty to talk to and learn more about the person, because there's always different questions that you can ask and always new things that you can learn about people. So I think the more variety in the day, the better or the closer it'll be towards the idea of perfect.
Yeah, that's really cool.
It's awesome.
I try.
And I find that like the older I get, the more I want to have like meaningful relationships. Like I want to move past that superficial, because as you get older, like as you said, people move all over the place and come in and out of your life. So you want to have like those deep connections with other people.
Well, now that I'm graduated, I can honestly say that like there's no more like room for convenient friends anymore, if that makes sense. Like you're not, just because they're in the same place, that was like okay when you were like in undergrad. Everyone is in the same location, you can easily do things that way. But now that we're graduated, like my friends are all in different places, and even though it's not that far, like it could just be like Toronto, you still have to make time and effort. You have to like pick up the phone, you have to call them, so you got to be sure that they're kind of like someone you want to invest your time in, and like it'll be a rewarding friendship as well. So if it's any consolation, graduation just means more friends that are better if you try.
No, I think that's a really good like piece of advice, especially since we've got 2-3 years left, and then things are going to change quite drastically very soon. So need to be prepared for that.
For sure. Anyways, I think this is all the time we have on this episode. Thank you for waiting a long time for us. I think the last one was posted in June.
Yeah, it's been
I
a
think
while.
it was in June. How sad is that? That's
Not that long.
time.
I mean, we've tried. It's just we've both been so busy.
Yeah, we've had to reschedule a few times. But hey, we're here. We're back at it. We're both in Waterloo for the next term. So
And we have Teginder
we
now.
have Teginder, and Teginder, if she pays us enough, we'll be back on.
Love you.
Working full-time jobs, still has no money to give you.
But yeah, thanks for listening to us. If you have any answers to any of the questions or anything you want to share with us, get a little shout out on the show, send us an email. That's positivelyquestionable18@gmail.com. Thanks for tuning in. As always, I'm positive. And
I'm positive.
okay,
And
we're not
Luke is questionable.
We are not gonna have this debate right now.
And we will talk to you next time.
See ya.
We'll name our children Jackie and Wilson, raise them more rhythm and blues.